The story of Joe Smallbone of Fenton, Michigan. Joe Smallbone, 1911 to 1985, was a colorful and eccentric figure in Fenton, Michigan, remembered as both a local legend and a self-taught electronics genius. Born Joseph Milo Smallbone, he lived most of his life in Fenton and was known for his unusual habits and deep knowledge of machinery, eccentric habits, and appearance. Smallbone was famously never seen bathing, often appearing covered in soot from his wood-burning stove. He was a hoarder, and visitors to his home had to navigate narrow paths through piles of belongings. His mother's death in a bathtub when he was young reportedly made him avoid bathtubs for life. Despite his oddities, Smallbone was widely respected for his ability to repair radios, televisions, appliances, engines, and other gadgets. Townspeople would bring malfunctioning items to his home, and within a week they were often restored to working order. His reputation as a fix-it expert made him a go-to for anyone with a broken device. Smallbone kept to himself, but was deeply connected to Fenton's social fabric. Former Mayor Leo Wygant called him probably the biggest gossip I knew in Fenton, noting he had a network of about 20 people. It was even rumored he had bugged the city. After his death in 1985, neighbors worked to preserve his memory, even writing editorials in support of him. His story has been passed down through generations, with some details embellished over time. Musician Bonnie Whitehurst later created a song and video about him, blending verified facts with the town's colorful memories. Today, Joe Smallbone is remembered as a true Fenton original, a man who lived life his own way, who knew everything going on in his community, and who left behind a mix of eccentricity and skill that continues to fascinate locals and visitors alike. Joe was quite a person. I remember him riding his bike around Fenton. I even went to his home and looked in his front door and saw the pathways through stacks of newspapers and junk. Do you have any characters from your towns that stuck out? Here is the song about Joe Smallbone.
In my hometown so long ago, there lived a man named Smallbones Joe, covered with dirt from head to toe. He never took a bath, you know. The undertaker said, "Don't come round when we drop your mother in the ground. Been 17 years since you bathed yourself. That much filth ain't good for your health." Old Joe lived on Wakeman Street, where every house was clean and neat, except for his. It was tall and black with junk on the porch in a vertical stack. Old Joe was a mechanical whiz, and people came from far and wide to have him fix their broken things that anybody else would have cast aside. So one day my dad and I drove in. We knocked a while on the old pine door. "Please, sir, fix my radio." There were 7 others like it on the floor. I recall that time when Smallbones Joe fixed my old clock radio. It was white when it went in and black when I got it back again. Off was on and on was off. Soft was loud and loud was soft. Old Joe drove a Model T. He had not 1, not 2, but 3. All were black as they could be. He parked them under a willow tree. His skin was like an old mud hole, dry and cracked, the color of coal. For a while he courted a red-haired gal. She was soft and round, and her name was Sal. Old Joe lived on Wakeman Street with a homemade wooden antenna. Better wear shin guards when you're in his house, or you're really gonna wish you woulda. For the junk was piled up 10 feet high. A narrow path ran through it, but he always found just the right thing north in Saginaw was a tall antenna with one big flaw. They couldn't get that thing to work, so up Joe drove with a Model T jerk. He shinnied up and took a look, never seeing the instruction book. He fiddled a bit all on his own, repaired that thing, then he drove back home. Old Joe lived on Wakeman Street, his screens were nailed on sideways. If you got anything malfunctioning, he'll fix it free on Fridays. While shopping at the grocery store, saw Joe coming through the door. Water bills clutched in his fist, banks were not high on his list. As a kid I hated to take a bath. My mother would tease me, then she'd laugh. You might as well marry Smallbones Joe. Down the aisle with a bucket of lye you'd go. Old Joe died on Wakeman Street. He slipped on ice falling off his feet, hit his head, froze in the street. Queerest guy that you ever did meet. Old Joe's house went up for sale. A couple came with a bucket and pail. Now his house is clean and white, to the hometown crowd an historical sight. Do 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 do.